All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're digging into the two halves that make any business tick. First, you've got the internal blueprint, the strategy that guides everything. And second, you've got the external megaphone, the voice that tells the world who you are. So, what's the secret sauce? What really turns a fantastic idea into a business that actually thrives? It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? A great idea is just the starting line. The real magic, the thing that makes all the difference, is having a rock-solid plan behind the scenes and a really powerful way to communicate it. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
Okay, so let's start with part one, the blueprint. This is all about what we call strategic management. Think of it as the internal architecture, the invisible framework that dictates every single move a company makes. And it really boils down to a pretty logical three-step process. First, you have to understand the world you're operating in. That's your analysis. Then, you use that understanding to make a plan. That's your formulation. And finally, the most important part, you have to actually make it happen. That's implementation. Let's start at the beginning. Step one is all about analysis. Before you can build a house, you have to survey the land, right? It's the same here. Strategic analysis means you have to become a bit of a detective. You're looking outward at the market, the competition, the economy, but you're also looking inward, taking a hard look at your own company's unique strengths and resources. So how do you actually do that? Well, you use different tools, kind of like analytical lenses, to get a clear picture. Some tools help you look externally at the big picture stuff, political, economic, social, and technological trends. Others help you look internally to figure out what you're genuinely good at. It's all about gathering intelligence from every possible angle, so you're not flying blind. All right, so once you've done all your homework and you've got all this great intel, it's time to make some decisions. This is where we move into strategy formulation. This is where you take all that data and start forging it into an actual plan that will define your future. And the classic tool for this, one you've probably heard of, is the SWOT analysis. It's the perfect bridge to get you from just thinking to actually doing. It neatly organizes everything you just learned, your internal strengths and weaknesses, and the external opportunities and threats. Laying it all out like this makes it so much easier to see the path forward and decide what to do next. And when you boil it all down, your analysis leads to a really big choice. Are you going to push for growth? Or are you going to focus on staying stable and defending your current position? Or maybe if things are looking tough, do you need to pull back a bit, retrench to conserve energy for a future fight? These are really the fundamental paths any business can take. Now, for bigger companies that are juggling multiple products or business units, a tool like the famous BCG matrix is absolutely essential. It helps them figure out where to put their money. Do you pour fuel on your stars to help them grow even faster? Do you just keep milking the profits from your reliable cash cows? Do you try to solve the puzzle of your question marks? Or is it time to just cut your losses with the dogs? And let's say the big decision is to grow. Well, another fantastic tool is Ansoff's matrix. It makes things really simple by forcing you to answer a critical question. Are we going to grow by selling our existing stuff to new people? Or are we going to create brand new stuff for the customers who already love us? It's a simple question that brings incredible focus to your growth strategy. And finally, we get to implementation. Because let's be honest, a brilliant strategy on paper is completely worthless if you can't actually make it happen. Frameworks like McKinsey's 7S are designed to make sure the entire company is aligned. It's a check to see that everything, from the hard stuff like your company's structure and systems, to the soft stuff like your team's skills and shared values, is all pulling in the exact same direction. Okay, deep breath. The internal blueprint is done. Now for Act 2. How do you take all that carefully planned value and actually connect with your customer? This is where marketing comes in. It's time to turn on the megaphone. And look, marketing isn't just about making clever ads. At its very core, it's the whole process of building a real relationship with your customers by creating and delivering something of true value to them. It's the essential bridge between your internal plan and the outside world. And really smart marketing isn't about shouting at everybody. It starts with a simple three-step dance. First, you segment the entire market into smaller, manageable groups. Then, you target the specific group or groups that you're best equipped to serve. And finally, you position your brand to hold a clear, unique, and desirable spot inside their minds. So, how do you actually do that? How do you bring that positioning to life? Well, you use the modern marketing toolkit, famously known as the 4 Ps. Just think of these as the 4 main levers you can pull to execute your marketing strategy. First, and you could say most importantly, is your product. This is the heart of your entire offer. It's the actual thing that solves a problem or meets a need for your customer. If your product doesn't deliver, nothing else matters. Next up, price. And this is so much more than just a number. Your price sends a powerful signal about your product's quality, who it's for, and the value you're promising. It's a critical positioning tool all on its own. Third, we have place. This is all about access. How do your customers actually find you and buy from you? Is it online, in a physical store, through a partner? Getting this right simply means being exactly where your customer expects you to be right when they need you.
And finally, promotion. This is the megaphone itself. It's how you communicate your value and tell your story. Everything from your advertising and your social media to PR and sales, this is how they hear about you.
And of course, getting all these levers to work together in harmony is absolutely crucial. Your place strategy has to create a totally seamless path for the customer. And your promotion strategy has to make sure that your message is consistent everywhere, whether they see you on a billboard, a TV ad, or a TikTok video. It all has to sing the same song. This quote just brings it all home perfectly. It really says it all, doesn't it? The two halves are totally inseparable. A great strategy with no marketing to bring it to life just sits on a shelf. And a loud megaphone with no real strategy behind it, well, that's just noise.
So if you remember one thing from all this, let it be this. The most successful businesses are the ones that achieve a perfect alignment between their internal blueprint and their external megaphone. The strategy has to give the marketing substance, and the marketing has to deliver the promise of the strategy.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In this crazy, fast-moving world we live in, it is so easy to just focus on turning up the volume on the megaphone. But the real question is all that noise actually backed by a solid, thoughtful, and adaptable plan? Answering that question is what separates fleeting attention from real, lasting success.